So now we're going to move on to the next object. Let's go ahead and unisolate this table, get out of X-ray mode, and let's go ahead and select this guy, the lamp. I'm going to go ahead and isolate that. Don't really need to put it in X-ray mode, but I'm just going to go ahead and delete those UVs. Now, for some of you, I was telling you before that you'll need to add a split right here, which I have not done yet, only because spacing issues. So if I go in here and select this object, create then come in here and hit get and set. Well, because mine's is not that long, it's not going to be much of an issue. But if you had a longer, say it was like that long, if you go in here to get the texel density and hit set, you'll notice that you have extremely long pole, and some of your other assets will be extremely small. Well, in this case, these aren't. But you want to make sure that your texel density is consistent. You know, you see mine's here. It's already pretty consistent. So you just want to make sure that your texel density is consistent. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that stitch because it looks like I don't need it. Or that poly loop, sorry. And just continue with my UVing. Alright, so come here, automatic, so it gives me all of these shapes. Here's my bottom, which came out pretty good. Really don't have to do much for that, so we're just going to take this and move it out of the way. But if yours doesn't come out that way, what you can do is go ahead and select one of the faces, hold shift, double click, and it will select the whole ring. You can do that the same here, so hold shift to add that selection, then hold shift again, double click, it'll select that whole ring. Then for these faces, what you want to do is you want to hold tab to select. Okay. Once you have all of those selected, you can go create planar. Now, let's see. Now I know that there's a way, that's control. Nope, okay. So we're just gonna go ahead and make sure that this is in the y-axis and hit apply, then close, okay? So that's that part. Now what we need to do is select this part right here, and we can go create cylindrical, and that will cylindrically unwrap that part of the mesh. Just giving us these jaggies. See how it's quite slanted right there instead of being straight. So you can either leave this that way and do a unfold along the V, which still isn't that great, or let's try U. Yeah, see, it gives us that. So a safer bet might be to just do a planar projection. And then move that over. Even though you want to try to get these UVs as straight as possible, sometimes it's just impossible to do. So at least this, we have a consistent texture all around with no seams. So, and the squares are mostly uniform. Alright, so now we want to select this part. So we can go here, select that, select this part, select that part, this part. Alright. And then go ahead and hit cylindrical again. Okay, hit unfold along the V, and then what we'll do is we'll just scale this into position, hit R, and try to get it around the same size as the other UV checkers. So that seems about right. We can go ahead and move that along over to the side. Now we have this pole. We can go ahead and select those faces and go create cylindrical. That creates that. Unfold along the Y. It's going to make a super long pole. Let's hit W, object mode. Go ahead and select that, hit get, hit set, and then shift right click. Let's go back into the UV shells. Let's go shift, layout UV, and bam. So now we have our UV layout for this guy, and we still have a lot of space, but considering the shape and what it is and how it's laid out, that should be okay. I don't like how the texel density is here, where we have a bigger checkerboard and then it starts to get smaller. So let's go ahead and modify that manually. Okay. So let's select those faces and just extrude them just a bit. You know what? Actually, it might be these ones at the top. Yeah. And then the only way to really get some of these edges to kind of be perfect is to just select all of these. Right? We're going to select all of these. Go ahead and hit cut. Go into the UV here. Select these UVs and hit shift, unfold. Which doesn't look great at all. So let's go ahead and undo that. And let's just leave them as is. Let me see. And a lot of this is kind of just seeing what the best option would be for this. I think that's pretty good. I'm gonna call that done for now. We might have to come back and do a couple more tweaks, but let's move on to the next object.